Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing part 3 of this video series, hopefully completing, the Christmas Antler Gnome from Magimuse. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, guys, hopefully I get to get through this Magimuse. I have a ton of Christmas crochet kits to get through, as you know. The next item we're going to be doing is Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I do have that revolving till hopefully, somewhat close to the end of January. So if you're wondering how much I'm going to get done, hopefully I can get one character of The Nightmare Before Christmas done each week till the end of January, which will put me at probably completing the whole book, knock on wood somewhere. But as you know, I do have a lot of Christmas stuff to work in conjunction with, so you will get simultaneous series coming out at once. So I do have Oogie Boogie, and hopefully I can get that out Saturday, Sunday. Let's hope. Okay, so let's get through this. We're going to do the Antler Gnome beard. We got the nose, 2 hands, the antlers, 2 antlers, I guess, and then the 2 ears. So let's get to this. Now, the only way I know what color to use for the beard is just by looking at the picture. It should say, like some of them say with, change, well, this is a different one. Change the green color. I don't know why they don't call it out. But thank goodness for the photos. So grab your white. You know what, you guys? I have to apologize. I did look on Amazon for the link for this. When Magimuse does a holiday series, they buy that stuff really quick. So I did check on Amazon. They no longer have this kit. But if you follow this video with me and get your own yarn, you can very well complete this gnome without the kit. Otherwise, you could probably wait till next year or search other hubs other than Amazon to see if they sell it. But I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, they don't have it anymore. So, all right, so let's get this started. If you need me to speed up or slow down the video, go and click on the gear button somewhere in the corner. It looks like a gear. When you click on it, there's a playback option. You can go slower or faster. If you're a more visual person, you can lower the volume on your phone and click on the CC button, which is closed captioning. Okay, so for round 1, we're going to do a magic ring, chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and do 6 stitches in total. So, like in every video, regardless of the series, I show you guys how to do each new stitch at least 3 times before moving on. When it gets to doing the same repetitive thing, I go on my pace, which is a lot faster than you may be accustomed to. So just be aware of that. At least I show you how to do it 3 times. I've been asked to slow down, but these videos are 2 hours long. There's just no way it's going to upload okay with a longer video. If it does, I mean, no one's going to sit through a 4-hour video. That's why I break these things up. Okay, so for a magic ring, you want to take your yarn here, and we're going to wrap it around once, twice, and you want to have just a little bit over your index finger because you want to take your middle finger and secure that down. Then you want to go palm up. We're going to take the 3mm crochet hook. We're going to slide this under each strand of your finger. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to take the hook and drag this strand underneath these 2. You'll have to tilt the hook to the side to get it under the other 2 strands. And pull it just like that till it's all the way out here. Then what we have to do is yarn over, so this strand goes over this hook. So yarn over like that. Then we're going to take this strand and pull it through this loop. So let's do that. And this closes off your magic ring. So now you can let go of your ring finger and you can slip off the rings off your index finger and we can start round 1. So I'm going to grab some yarn here around my left finger. Now I'm going to show you how to do a magic ring. So like the instructions say, you want to yarn over. We're going to chain 1. Then we're going to do a single crochet stitch. Now, how you do that is you stick your hook into the 2 rings like this. We're going to yarn over. You're going to pull that through the rings, just like that. We're going to yarn over again, and we're going to pull that through the 2 loops on your hook, like this. And we have our first single crochet stitch and our 1 chain stitch right next to it. So let's do this again. Stick your hook into the 2 magic rings here. Then yarn over. We're going to pull up a loop. Then we're going to yarn over. And we're going to pull through both of the loops off the hook. And we have 2 single crochet stitches and our chain stitch. Let's do this again one more time with you guys. Into the magic ring. Yarn over. Pull up a loop, then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops off of the hook. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches and a chain stitch. So now I just have to repeat this 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now you should have 6 stitches. You can always double check and count the stitches from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then your chain stitch. So now what I'm going to do is close this magic ring. It's called a magic ring because it starts as a big hole and then you close it to no hole. So what you want to do, let go of the yarn on your left hand. You want to take your index and thumb and kind of pinch the bottom stitch here, not too tight because the yarn has to be free moving. So you have your front loop here and then your back loop behind it. We're going to pull this excess piece and watch to see which yarn goes in first. And then once we find out which one that does, we're going to stop pulling. So take your excess yarn and start pulling it very gently. And I can see that the back loop is pulling into the ring, so I can stop pulling. What you want to do is, in my case, it could be the back loop. In your case, it could be the front loop, whichever loop it is. You want to grab that loop from the bottom and pull it out. So I'm going to take my back loop here and I'm going to pull out the bottom, and you're going to see the top loop start disappearing, and that's exactly what you want. So start pulling that, and you see how it's going in. You can stop once it disappears completely into the stitches. So right about there. You probably might still have a little hole. I have a little hole here. Once we finish pulling this loop and the front loop disappears, or in your case the back loop, whatever it is, then you can pull the excess piece and then make this last loop disappear. So let's do that now. And then once this loop disappears, the hole will get smaller. You can pull it just a little bit more, and now the hole is completely gone. So that's what the whole magic ring is all about. There's a hole and then there's no hole. Now what we do is the slip stitch. So count back 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put your hook into the 6th stitch and then yarn over and pull it through all the loops on your hook, and that is a slip stitch. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take the markers that they include in this kit and you're going to slip it on to your last stitch, both front and back loops, like that, and then you just close it. Now it's so funny, I'm doing the Nightmare Before Christmas kits, and I'm so used to doing the chain one and the slip stitch that actually that kit does not tell you to do that. But this is why some kits tell you to, because it's one complete ring. Other kits just make it into a spiral, a continuous spinning, and you know, having a marker is very important for those ones. But the problem is, because I get instructions like this mostly, that I've been doing that for the Nightmare Before Christmas kits, and I've been called out on it. But for my safe practices, I do it this way, because you have individual rings that you can count on top of putting the markers. So however way you do it, it still makes the same result, you know? Okay, so now that we have round one, round two, we're going to chain one, do 2 single crochet stitches, 2 increasing stitches, 2 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. How is that even possible? I guess. But you already have 6. I know it adds up to 6, but then what happens to the 6? 1, 2. Oh, wait, that doesn't make any sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a slip stitch. This needs to be 8, not 6. And I'll show you why, unless I'm wrong. Okay, so we found out our first problem. Let me show you. Okay, so we're going to follow this. Chain 1, so yarn over, and you pull that through the loop, chain 1. Then it tells you to do 2 single crochet stitches. So we're going to do 1, and then we're going to do 2. Now I'm going to show you how to do an increasing stitch. So an increasing stitch basically is making 1 stitch into 2. So you have to do 2 single crochet stitches in 1 stitch. So into the next stitch, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to go back into that same stitch, use the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. So you see we use that 1 stitch to make 2 single crochet stitches, and then we have our 2 single crochet stitches from before, so now that's 4, right? But we have to do 2 increasing stitches. Something is not right here. Okay, so we're just going to do it that way. Let's do another increasing stitch. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. But they still want us to do 2 single crochet stitches. So there's no way this is going to be 6. This has to be 8. So hopefully this row is correct, because if the count is wrong in each one, that means maybe the instructions are wrong, but I don't know. That's why they need quality control when they do these kits. And that's weird, because I normally see this on the Dollar Tree kits. I haven't really seen that on these kits, so that's interesting. All right, so let's do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. So we have a total of 8 stitches. I'm going to remove the marker. Okay. We're going to count back 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to put your hook into the 8th stitch, wherever that is. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through all of the loops off your hook. And then we're going to place our marker into the last stitch we just made, front and back loops. Okay, so now we're going to do round 3 and hope for the best. So we got to chain 1, do 2 single crochet stitches, 4 increasing stitches, 2 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 12. Get some yarn here. Okay. Okay. So let's chain 1, yarn over, pull through the loop. Then we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Okay, then we're going to do 4 increasing stitches. Something doesn't seem right. Okay, so into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now we have to do 2 more increasing stitches. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And then we have to do 2 more single crochet stitches. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to remove the marker, and we're going to count back 8. So we should have 12. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So into the 12th stitch, put in your hook, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. And then we're going to mark our last stitch. Okay. Now for round 4, we're going to chain 1, do 2 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 4 times, do a slip stitch, and end up with 16 stitches. So let us chain 1, do 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2. We're going to do an increasing stitch, and we're going to repeat this 3 more times. So 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, an increasing stitch, and repeat this 2 more times. 1, 2, and then do an increasing stitch, and then repeat this 1 more time. 2 single crochet stitches, and then do an increasing stitch, we're going to remove the marker. Then we're going to count back 16 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. Stick in your hook. Do a slip stitch, yarn over, and pull through all loops. Mark your last stitch. Okay, and then we're going to go on to round 5, and we are going to do chain 1, 3 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 4 times, and end up doing a slip stitch and end up with 20 stitches. Jeez. Okay, just getting some yarn here. got a lot, and I like putting a lot of yarn around my finger. I gotta know. Comment below. Let me know if I'm the only one. Okay. We're going to chain 1. We're going to do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. And repeat this 3 more times. 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Increasing stitch. 1, 2. Repeat this 2 more times. Increasing stitch. 1, 2, 3. Increasing stitch. And then repeat this 1 more time. 3 single crochet stitches. And then an increasing stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to remove the marker. We're going to count back 20 and do a slip stitch. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20. Stick in your hook. Yarn over. Pull through all loops. And we're going to mark our last stitch. Now, as you see, your project's going to be curling inward. That's normal. But what we want to do is flip it inside out, because this is the wrong way right now. You can tell because you have this excess piece just chilling out here. Also, when you look closely, you can't really see a definitive row. But if you flip this inside out or invert it, just like this, popping it inside out, you can tuck this excess piece inside and hide it. And then also when you flip it to see what it looks like, you can see that there's definitive individual rounds. So you can also do that. You have to look at the right spot. But let's say you didn't have a marker. From the center, you can count first row, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Is what we're going to do next, actually. So when I say you have to pick the right spot, I think it's to the left of the marker. Let's count this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, to the left of the marker. If you don't have a marker, to the left of the hook. Right to the left. You can see. So that's kind of one way if you don't have any markers to count it. If you count on this side, it's going to be 1 extra because it's spiraling, so it looks that way. I don't know. I don't know why that is. But anyway, let's move on to round 6. We have to chain 1, do 4 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 4 times, do a slip stitch, and end up with 24 stitches. Okay, so we're going to chain 1. We're going to do 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do an increasing stitch. And then we're going to repeat this 3 more times. 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do an increasing stitch. 1, 2. And then repeat this 2 more times. 4 single crochet stitches. Do an increasing stitch. Then do 4 single crochet stitches. and do an increasing stitch. Remove the marker. We're going to count back 24 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Do a slip stitch and then put your marker in. Okay, and then we're going to do round 7, but I'm going to take a little quick break. Okay, so for round 7, we're going to chain 1, do 3 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 6 times, a slip stitch, and end up with 30 stitches. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to do 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do an increasing stitch, 1, 2. Then we're going to repeat this 5 more times, 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, an increasing stitch. Repeat this 4 more times, 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, an increasing stitch. Repeat this 3 more times, 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, an increasing stitch. Repeat this 2 more times, 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, an increasing stitch, 1, 2. Repeat this 1 more time, 3 single crochet stitches, and then an increasing stitch. We're going to remove the marker, count back 30, and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Stick your hook in the 30th stitch and then do a slip stitch. I'm going to mark our last stitch we made. Okay, and then we're going to do rounds 8 and 9, and that's chain 1, 30 single crochet stitches, and a slip stitch to end up with 30. So if you will get distracted or pulled away from your project, you can use your stitch markers to keep track of the rounds, but it's only 2 rounds, so I just got to remember to only 2. Okay, so chain 1 and then do 30 single crochet stitches. Did I skip one? Whoops. remove the marker, count back 30 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. Do a slip stitch. Oh, my loop got twisted around. Let me just redo this. Slip stitch. Mark your last stitch. We're going to do this one more time, but let me gather up some yarn here. Don't forget to click that like button. Share this with your friends. Check out my playlist at the end of this video. I have plenty of other projects. Again, you know, even if you don't have the instructions, you can still follow along and do whatever cute projects you see on the playlist there. If you have any requests, leave a comment below, or you can send me an email with the instructions. Sometimes I can go and get the kits that you're wanting to see, but sometimes I can't get them, at least not right away. So it's best if you just email me the instructions and I can make a video for you. I do have memberships if you check them out. Obviously I'm a nail channel as well, so whatever the perks are on there, you can just change what it says to crochet items. And then also at the 4th tier, I have my one-on-ones. So if you need extra help, we can do a virtual meet where I can show you step by step how to do any of the projects that you may be having issues with. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to do 30 single crochet stitches. While we're here, I'd also like to thank everyone for their support. I really appreciate you watching these videos. I know sometimes we're trying to figure out how to do these kits, and I'm not a teacher by any means. I'm just trying to decipher the instructions and maybe, you know, give some visuals to help people out. So I'm really glad that if it helps you out, and I greatly appreciate all your support. Oh, I guess I should add also too that I am holding a 2,000 subscriber giveaway. I had a live, my normal live at 5 on Fridays. In the last live, I went over the rules for the giveaway. I'm opening it up to international and also all viewers. I'm going to have one winner for nails, one winner for crochet or crafts. Check out that live for the rules. And then enter. By the time I hit 2,000 subscribers, I will do a, I will pick the winner during a video or a live. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, once that 2,000 mark hits, I'm going to do a live that same week. So that's however long you can have your entries. The entries can be more than one time. So obviously the more entries you have, the higher chance you have to win. Okay, remove the marker, count back 30 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. And slip stitch. And then we're going to do round 10. Oh, forgot to mark the last stitch here. Round 10, we're going to chain 1, do 3 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch 6 times, and do a slip stitch and end up with 24 stitches. Okay, so let's chain 1. We're going to do 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, and 3. And let me show you how to do a decreasing stitch. So basically we're taking 2 stitches here and we're making it into 1 as I squish it. Yeah, 2 into 1. So how we do that is you stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Then we're going to go directly into the next stitch over. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. So you see how we took 2 stitches and we made 1. And that's a decreasing stitch. So now we just have to repeat this 5 more times. Let's do 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Oh no. Hold on. 3. We're going to do a decreasing stitch. So again, into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch over, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we'll repeat this 4 more times. 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch, into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, then put your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we just have to repeat this 3 more times. 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a decreasing stitch, into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So now we just have to repeat this 2 more times. 3 single crochet stitches, decreasing stitch, repeat this 1 more time. 3 single crochet stitches and decreasing stitch. We're going to remove the marker. We're going to count back 24 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24. Put in your hook and then do a slip stitch and then mark your last stitch. Okay, so now we're going to do round 11. We're going to chain 1, do 10 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch 2 times, slip stitch, and end up with 22 stitches. So let's chain 1, do 10 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to do a decreasing stitch, and then we're going to repeat this 1 more time. 10 single crochet stitches, Okay, and then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. I'm going to remove the marker. We're going to count back 22 and we're going to do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 22. Put in your hook. Slip stitch. Mark your last stitch. And then for round 12, we're going to do chain 1, 22 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 22 stitches. So chain 1, 22 single crochet stitches. This is our last round for the beard, so we won't be putting back the marker after we slip stitch the round. And I'm going to show you guys how you fasten off. And the beard is going to be done. It's a little surprising that they doubled up on this beard by making it an amigurumi, which is the magic ring and all that jazz. I thought maybe it would just be, you know, a simple row beard that's 1 ply, not 2 ply, because we're obviously going to be folding this. Folding, flattening, however you want to call it. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be a single thing, but I guess they're keeping with the amigurumi construction of the beard. So we're going to be flattening this, and I guess it sounds about right because it's going to make the beard have some volume. We're not going to be stuffing this, so that's good. Okay. So this is the last stitch. We're going to remove the marker, count back 22, and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22. Put in your hook, do your slip stitch, and we are done. So I'm just going to already flatten this. So there we have that. Then I'm going to remove the yarn off of my finger. For me, this is going to take a bit. For you, probably not. I don't know. All right. So since we're going to sew, attach, we're going to sew it onto the body. So let's leave a little tail. Ah, my scissor. Hold on. I need to get my scissor. Okay. I have my scissor. We're going to cut and leave a long tail. So this is how you fasten off, okay? You're gonna do a like a chain, but you're gonna pull it all the way through. So you wanna yarn over and you wanna pull it through the loop, and we're just gonna keep pulling out through our needle till the whole thing comes through. Then we're gonna grab it and we're going to pull the stitch tight, and that creates a knot in itself. Okay, so now we have to attach to the body. So you should have been given a tapestry needle in your kit. Be careful, it's blunt, but it's still metal and you can poke someone's eye out. Not that I recommend that. That's a big no-no. So put the yarn through the eyelet hole, and then we're going to sew this on. And I love how it doesn't tell you how to sew it on. So, or where to sew it on. So I'm going to suggest, so you see how we creeped up, there's a little slash here. You could take this opportunity to cover the beard with, maybe it'd work also if you flatten it to where this is on the side. So let's do that. Okay. But at the same time, you see this, I don't like that. Let's see, can we invert this? There. All right, I just flipped it to the other side and flipped it out. If you like it this way, you can, but I like things to be flat. So I'm going to go like this. Now, you can take this opportunity to cover this slash here so that when you look all around, it looks nice. And then see how you have this. All right, so this is supposed to be the brim. The nose is going to make a little indent like this, as you see here. I guess you want to sew it to where maybe we should sew it just a row below. Or maybe all the way. Yeah, let's do it all the way. Have it butt up to the edge so that if this is flipped up, you don't see a little piece of skin, because if it's the beard, you would probably, well, you know. We'll just use this where it connects. So, however you want to do it, I'm not a sewer. So, I am just gonna hope for the best as I'm doing this. I'm sure you might be better than me, so don't judge. Okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to use my stitches to guide me. And I'm going to use the stitches on the body to guide me as well. In terms of what kind of stitches, I don't have a clue. Maybe in here it shows it. Check that out. But I'm just going to do whatever and however it's going to work out. But I love how this is coming along, you guys. Comment below, let me know how this is working out. Okay, as we're reaching the other end, what I'm gonna want to do is create a knot. So I'm gonna go back into the beard. I don't know how to tie a knot with this, you guys. You can formulate your own way, but what I do is I put it back into the beard. I'm gonna put it through this loop that I've created, and I'm gonna go in twice. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the yarn to try to make a knot. Okay. And once that is done, remove the needle. I'm going to cut off a little bit of this yarn here. I'm going to grab my hook. We're going to go just under the surface of the body, trying to avoid the stuffing. And I'm going to pop back up right next to where the excess piece is. I'm going to hook it and I'm going to drag it into the body and hide this excess piece like that. Then I'm going to come back out, try to pull out the hook without pulling out any stuffing. And then, ooh, I only did it on one side. That's not good. Well, they won't see that, so whoopsie. All right, so there we go. We have our little beard. The nose is gonna go here, of course. So we are well on our way. Let's move on to the nose, and you're gonna need the red yarn for this. So there's two different yarns and it looks fairly the same. So I'm just going to use this one, right? Why mess with this one just yet? So let's do this one. And it's spooled horribly, so this will be definitely rolling around. Oh wait, this one you can open up from the middle, right? And I'm going to try to pull the center out. Sometimes you can find the other end, Sometimes you can't. If not, just pull out the middle, which will probably turn into a disaster actually. Oh, here it is. I found it. So we're going to pull this, and that way it won't roll around. And you can wrap this back up here. Okay. So for the nose, we're going to do the magic ring again. So wrap this around your finger twice. You want a little bit of overage on this finger here, so you can take your middle finger and hold it down. You can tighten up these if you need to. Okay. Palm up. We're going to take the hook, slip it underneath 3 strands here. You're going to pull the 3rd strand right here underneath these 2. So go ahead and do that. You'll have to twist the hook sideways so you can get it under the 2 strands. Just like that. Then we're going to yarn over like that. And you're going to pull this strand through the loop. And this is going to close your ring. So now you can let go of your middle finger and you can pull off the loops from your index. So now I'm going to gather up some yarn here. And what we're going to do next, we're going to follow round 1, which is we did the magic ring. We're going to chain 1, do 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. So chain 1. And again, like we did in the beginning, I'm going to stick my hook into the loops of the magic ring. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. We have our first single crochet stitch into the loops of the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now I'm going to stick my hook into the loops of the magic ring again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So just to count, we have 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches and our chain stitch. I'm just going to do 3 more single crochet stitches and we'll move on to the next part. 1, 2, 3. So now we should have 6 in total. You can always go back and count it to check. But now I'm going to overhand my hook right here. We're going to use our thumb and our index to kind of pinch the bottom stitch where the excess piece is, just like that, not too tight. You want these loops and the excess to pull easily. So now you're going to pay attention to, again, to see which loop goes inside the magic ring. You have the front loop and the back loop. So it may be different on yours, but I'm going to slowly pull this excess piece and pay attention to which loop goes in first. So it's the back loop again. What I'm going to do now is pull the lower part, the lower half of that back loop, and I'm going to watch the front loop disappear into the magic ring. So go to the loop that pulled into the magic ring first. We're going to pull the lower end out. And now you can see it's closing in. You want to pull it until that other loop is completely gone. You may still have a little hole in your magic ring like I do here. Now I'm going to take the excess piece and I'm going to pull this out and watch now this loop disappear. So pull the excess yarn until that disappears. And then this should probably close your hole if it's still open like mine. Pull it just a little tighter and up, and that hole will slowly disappear. Don't pull it too much, it doesn't need to be too tight. But the hole is now closed, and I'm going to do my slip stitch. So count back 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick your hook into the 6th stitch, wherever that may be. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops. And then we're going to take our stitch marker and slip it through the last stitch we just made. And we're going to move on to round 2. So for round 2, we're going to chain 1, 6 increasing stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 12 stitches. So chain 1, and we're going to do 6 increasing stitches all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last one, and 6. I'm going to remove the marker. We're going to count back 12 stitches and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Put your hook into the 12th stitch. We're going to do a slip stitch and then mark the last stitch. And then we're going to go to round 3. Okay, so we're going to chain 1 for round 3. Okay, maybe I'll say it first. Chain 1, 12 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 12. So chain 1, and then we're going to do 12 single crochet stitches. Okay, remove the marker, count back 12 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, mark your last stitch. And then for round 4, which is the last round actually, this one's a quick one, we're going to chain 1, do 6 decreasing stitches, slip stitch, and end up with 6. So let's flip this already inside out or right side out. You know me, I would like to stuff right now, but because 6 is a small hole, but we're just gonna have to use the crochet hook or something because you can't really fit stuffing in it right now the way that it looks. So let's chain 1 and do 6 decreasing stitches. In case you forgot, let's go into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Let's do this again. Into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. One more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now I just have to do this 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're going to remove the marker, count back 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and do a slip stitch. Okay, so we're actually going to fasten off now, so leave a bit of yarn so that you can sew it on the body. We're going to yarn over and pull a loop through, and we're going to pull it all the way out. Then we're going to tighten up that stitch, make it a knot, and now we have this little nubby we have to fill. So take your fiber fill for your stuffing. We're going to go little by little. If you have little fingers, you can try doing it that way. If you don't, you can use the back of the crochet hook to kind of shove that in there. But see, that's why I like, if I could help it, stuff it before it gets to 6 stitches. 8 is okay, I think, but it's kind of pushing it. 12 is good to put, but this nose obviously didn't go that big, so in this case, we just have to make do. Okay, so we have the nose made. Okay. Add as much as you want. I think this is okay. Stuff enough with filling and then attach the nose to the body. So we can go straight away like this, or what you could do is weave it in and out, make it into a smaller hole and just sew that one part to the body, because this is kind of like a tiny piece. Or actually, you know what, because this is so tiny, you don't want to pull the fiber fill, and I'm actually pulling it. So what we're going to do is just going to use our tapestry needle, and we're just going to sew around onto the body. I'm pointing like you could see it left the frame here, but I'll show you. So take your tapestry needle. Sometimes I have the patience to do it, sometimes I don't, so we'll just do it this way. So now we just got to center the nose, lift up the lid a little bit, situate your nose on here. Like obviously you want this brim to come down and do this cute little thing. So maybe we should sew the top of your nose that's connected to this excess piece and sew it to the middle top of this beard. So try to count the stitching. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's the center. We're gonna just see what I'm doing there, just putting it through that stitch in the middle. All right, we're gonna do that first. I'm gonna see how, just look at your nose and see how you want to construct it. And because that's basically what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just sticking this in and hoping for the best. So I'm going to use the stitches, the last 6 stitches, to sew this up together. I'm going to sew it to the beard, and you want to make sure that the nose stays centered on the beard. So however that goes. Okay, and we're going to go all around the nose. So you just got to keep looking at it. I mean, if you're not a sewer, it may not be perfect. You can either redo it or just leave it. Okay, I went clockwise, however you want to go. I'm a lefty, so if you haven't noticed. Once you reach the other side, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the beard. I'm going to find a moment to sew into, and I'm going to do that loop thing. Okay, so here I have my loop. I'm going to take my needle and go in twice into this loop, like that. Then I'm going to pull the yarn to make a knot. Comment below if you have a better way to do this. Okay, it's gonna form a knot. Then I'm gonna take my scissor, we're gonna cut off a bit of it. And I'm gonna go from the under the body side. I'm gonna go just under the surface to avoid the stuffing. And I'm gonna try to put my needle, my hook, make it come up right next to the excess piece. I'm gonna yarn over and pull it back into the body. Okay. Oops. Tuck that back in there. I accidentally pulled the fiber fill. If you can see what's happening there. Try to tuck that back in. All right. So now we have our beard, we have our nose. Put the brim down and it's supposed to look like this. Look how lazy. You could just leave it like this. It's a gnome. Okay. But we're gonna finish the rest here. So we have the Antler Gnome hand to do. It looks like we're gonna use white and we're gonna change to the brown. So I've got my brown. Got my white. We're going to do the magic ring again. So I'll be showing this one more time since it is a new stitch, a new technique, and this is the third time I'm doing it. So again, wrap around your finger twice. Have some overage to put your middle finger. You can tighten up these strands here a bit. Palm up. We're going to slip the hook right under the 3 strands. We're going to hold on, let's do that again. Right under the 3 strands, we're gonna pull this strand underneath these 2. So let's do that. Okay, we're gonna yarn over and we're gonna pull this strand through this loop. Okay, and once you have that, you can let go of your middle finger and then slip off the loops from your index, and then we can start doing 5 single crochet stitches. We're going to chain 1 and do 5 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 5 stitches. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Chain 1 again into the magic ring, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Let's do this again, into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time with you guys, into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now I just have to do this 2 more times. 1 and 2. Count back 5 stitches to make sure you have them all there. We have 3, 4, 5 in our chain stitch. I'm going to overhand my hook. With my thumb and my index, I'm going to pinch the bottom stitch, not too hard because we're going to pull this again. We're going to find out which loop goes in first. So pull this gently. And again, my back loop is pulling in. So I'm going to pull the lower half out of the back loop. It may be the opposite for you. Pull it out till the other loop disappears into the magic ring. Okay, and once that's gone, you may still have a little hole. This is tinier, so you may not. But then, now we're going to grab the excess piece and pull the last loop into the magic ring. So pull that, not too tight. Now we're going to count back 5 stitches and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stick your hook in wherever that is. Then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all loops. and then we're going to mark off our last stitch we made. Okay, so we're done with round 1. For round 2, we're going to chain 1, 5 increasing stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 10 stitches. So chain 1, we're going to do 5 increasing stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 more, 5, okay, I'm going to remove the marker, count back 10 and do a slip stitch, 3, 6, 9, 10, stick in your hook, and we're going to do a slip stitch, mark off your last stitch, and then we're going to move on to round 3, and this one is a chain 1, 10 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 10 stitches. So chain 1 and do 10 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to invert this, flip this right side out so that it's all ready to go here. This is a small object we're making. I can tuck this in later. Before I do my slip stitch, okay, I'm going to remove this marker actually. What you're going to want to do, take your hook, you can remove the yarn off your left hand, take your hook and pull this out as much as you can, just like this, right? We're going to slip the hook off the loop. Set this aside for now, you don't want to mess with it. I'm going to grab my brown. Okay. I'm going to show you how to cast on with the slip knot to the hook because we're going to change colors. Oh shoot, we have one more. Mother of pearl. Alright. Sorry, put this back. You can put your hook back into the loop. I jumped the gun. We have to do one more row first. Sorry. Alright, count back 10 stitches. 3, 6, 9, 10. Stick in your hook. Do a slip stitch. I jumped the gun. Slip stitch and then put in your marker. You know me, you guys. I always forget to change colors, but this is the best way to like change the color. Not perfectly, but pretty much perfectly. But so yeah, we're gonna do round 4. We're gonna chain 1, 10 single crochet stitches. Before you do the slip stitch, we're going to fix the brown. All right, I didn't read ahead there. So chain 1, we're gonna do 10 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remove the marker. Well, remove the yarn off my finger. Remove the marker. Alright, so now you can pull the loop out big. remove the hook, set this aside, get your brown, and I'm going to show you how to cast on. So with your left hand, take your ring and pinky and your thumb. We're going to hold the very end of this yarn here. With your middle and your index, we're just going to hold the yarn straight and apart like this. Take your hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop. And let me do that again for you guys. Middle and index, hold it apart, perpendicular to the hook, or to the yarn. Go down, out, and around to make a loop. I'm going to lay this right next to my thumb here. And what I'm going to do is put my middle finger on my right hand and just hold it where it crosses, like this. Because what I'm going to do is let go of my left hand, and this stays in place. I'm going to go get some yarn around my finger. Once I have that, I'm going to pinch the end of the yarn with my thumb and my middle finger on the left hand. And then now I'm going to slide the hook towards my thumb on the left hand, down like this. And wherever it crosses, you want to pinch with your thumb and your middle finger so that now you can't slide your hook up and down. What I'm going to do now is yarn over and pull a loop through the loop off your hook. Then I'm going to overhand my hook. You want to pinch the end of your yarn with your thumb and your middle again. They have this knot here. We want to tighten that. How I'm going to tighten it is I'm going to use my thumb and my index and push this knot towards this thumb. So push it down. And when you hit a point where you can't push it anymore, you can tighten up this knot by pulling out the excess piece here. Pull it out a little bit. You don't have to go too crazy. Just pull it taut so you have a nice knot on here. And I do that because that means you're only wasting this much. At least I am. I love not wasting yarn because sometimes these kids don't give you enough yarn. All right, so now I'm going to take my index and my thumb and I'm going to grab the knot gently and I'm going to slide it up towards the hook. So pull it up towards the hook. You want to leave yourself some room here like this. I'm going to slide this off of my hook. Okay, set this aside. I'm going to take my project now. I'm going to put my hook back into this enormous loop. I probably over exaggerated. Then I'm going to tighten up the loop back up again. Leave yourself some room. Try to tuck in this little piece. You can cut it off if you want. I just like to use it because it acts as stuffing. And again, like I said, I don't like wasting yarn. So now from here, we're going to count back 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stick your hook into the 10th stitch, wherever that is. Now, we normally would use the white yarn to yarn over. We're not going to do that this time. Hold it back here. I'm going to take the brown loop that we made, put it over the loop, put it over the hook. Gather up some yarn. Now, we're going to pull this through the loops, but where we have this knot, I'm going to try to keep it behind the project. So be careful pulling your loop through. So pull it through this loop and this loop. We're going to mark off our last stitch. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is we don't need the white anymore. So cut off like, I don't know, an inch and a half till there's an inch and a half left. Just to secure the white so it doesn't unravel. Not that I think it would, but just in case. You want to tie the white around the brown 2 times. And don't tie it too tight, just snug. Snug as a bug. And this is just to keep it from unraveling. And then you can tuck in the white piece inside. My hook came off, so we're just going to have to slip this back in. Hopefully you didn't lose it. All right, and now we can take this white and put it away, because now we just need the brown. So we did the slip stitch. We have, what in the bloody world? I see another mess up. Chain 1, 10 single crochet stitches, change the brown color, change the brown color, change to the brown color, slip stitch, and you end up with 6. If you do 10 single crochet stitches, you're not going to end up with 6, you're going to end up with 10. And it's so funny, yeah, they definitely typoed, because then rounds 5 through 8, you chain 1, do 10 single crochet stitches, slip stitch, and end up with 10. Yeah, this is a typo. So round, what did I catch that at? One of these rounds. Oh, round 2 from the beard, and round 4, no. Yeah, round 4 from the hands is incorrect. Should write a letter, right? All right, let's move on. So we have our chain 1. We're going to do 10 single crochet stitches. And we have to do this 5 through 8 rounds. So I actually didn't pull my markers. I'm going to show you that after we do our 10 single crochet stitches, because that error messed me up. So I've done Dollar Tree kits where that same thing happened with typos, and I'll tell in my videos that there's an error. And I've actually had some viewers tell me, hey, I have the same instructions, but I think they fixed it because I don't have that showing on my instructions. Okay, so we did 10 single crochet stitches. You can double check. 3, 6, 9, 10. All right, so this indicates round 5, because that's clearly where we are in this project. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have to use all of my markers to indicate 5 through 8. So again, if you get distracted, if you lose count, it happens. The markers will keep track. So it's good to buy extra stitch markers. You can get it in your hobby store or online on Amazon. You know, you can find it. They sell it in packs for a few dollars. So, all right. So we're going to count back 10, and we're going to do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 10. Do your slip stitch. We're going to leave that marker in there, okay, because we have to keep track of our rounds. I'm going to add a new marker to indicate the next round, round 6. And I'm just going to continue this. We're going to do this in silence till round 8, and we're going to fasten off. So in silence. Okay, so we finished 5 through 8. We're going to sew this to the body. So I'm going to cut it, leaving some tail. And we're going to fasten this off. I'm going to remove my markers. And it doesn't say to stuff it, so I really don't like that. I think there should be some stuffing because it leaves the arm flat, but okay. So I'm going to just attach this to the body. Off camera, you guys, I'm going to be doing another one and I'm going to come back with it sewn on since I'm showing you right now how to do one. So if you need to help doing the second arm, I suggest just rewinding back. But now we just have to find a placement for this. So here we have his cute little face. You want to pick, I'm going to put the yarn to the side again, and I want it to be hidden actually. So lift up the brim a little bit, and we're going to sew it, I guess, where it meets the brim. But you want to pick a location that's not too close to the body and not too far from the, I mean, you know. If this looks good here, let's see, maybe just a tad bit over. Okay, I have it here, and I'll tell you right now how far. From the edge of my beard, we have, and I'm going to count where it's connected to the body, the brim. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 stitches. Okay. So where it meets the brim, I'm going to sew this up and try to get both the front stitches and the back stitches, because I totally didn't do that with the beard and I didn't mean to do that. Okay. But so far, so good. This is really turning out. I'm really I don't know. I know I'm late in the game, but gnomes are growing on me. I have this cute little embroidery of a gnome design that I can't wait to get on. I unboxed that, I think in one of my lives. So I can't wait to show that to you guys. If you have Insta, I would love to see what your gnomes look like. Okay, so again with the same situation, I'm going to find a spot where I can do my little loop. I'm going to put my needle in twice through the loop, and then I'm going to have to pull the right part of my little loop-de-loops. I see I pulled the wrong one. Okay, it's going to create a knot. Then I'm going to cut this off about 1.5 inches or so. Grab my hook, put it right under the surface of the body, avoid the stuffing, come up where the excess piece is, and we're going to drag it inside the body to hide that tail. I'm going to carefully fish out my hook, avoiding to pull out any stuffing. It's this. Okay, so put the brim flaps down again. Now we've got our arm. Look at this, you guys. So when I come back, we're going to see the other arm attached, and we're going to do the antlers, and we have the ears left, and then we're good to go. We're doing big antler, small antler, and we're doing 2 of those. So anything that's 2, the second ones I'm going to do off camera. So we sewed on the other arm. and made the other arm. Going to do, we're now going to be doing our magic ring for the big antler. So with the brown, I went over the magic ring a few times already, so I'm just gonna do this now. If you need to go back to the other body parts to figure out the magic ring again, please do so. But we're just going to move ahead with what we know already. So for the first round, we're going to do a chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6. So chain 1, do 6 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I'm going to pull the excess, see which loop goes in first, right, and then I'm going to pull out the bottom half of that loop. Watch the other loop disappear into the magic ring until it's gone. Then we're going to pull the excess and have that loop disappear. Tighten it up just a little bit. And then we're going to count back 6 stitches from the hook. 3, 6, stick in your hook and do a slip stitch. And then we're going to mark our last stitch. Now I did get my other stitch markers. For this next round, we're doing 2 through 10, and I got enough stitch markers to cover 2 through 10. Now, if you don't have these, you just gotta keep rotating the 4 that they give you and try to remember where you are. That's why I said it's really good to invest in extra stitch markers. If not, you can always do increments of 2 or 3 or 4, you know what I mean? So that you know each tab is going to be X amount of rounds to get to the 10th round. But anyway, so now for rounds 2 through 10, we're going to do chain stitch, 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. So it's just 6 single crochet stitches from here on out. We are going to do this in silence. Let me get some yarn here. We are nearing the end, you guys. I really didn't check how long this video is going to be. It's going to be around the vicinity of 2 hours, assuming that I'm reaching the max that I normally like to keep videos. So sorry if it's a little over 2 hours, but hopefully it's under 2 hours. I didn't really check. All right, let's do this in silence. Okay, you guys, so we stumbled upon a little problem. You can probably figure out what that is. So I cut the tail short, which was probably not the smartest idea, but we're gonna work through it. So I finished rounds 2 through 10. I'm just going to fasten this off, and ideally you want enough tail to sew this, so I'm gonna hopefully have enough to cheat it to sew into itself. But I'm going to remove these markers now. We don't need them anymore. And we're going to make the small antlers. Okay. I do have similar color yarn. It's a different brand, so it's definitely going to look different. Comment below, let me know if you have this problem. So we have the big antler, let's do the little one. Let's see how much we can do with this amount. This is all I have left of this color. So again, I go a little crazy with the tails because you never know how much you need. In reality, this is actually the brown that I wasted. So I don't think, you know, I wasted that much, to be honest. But yeah, and just to let you know, I already did the other one, so don't need to worry about that. But comment below, let me know if you have this much left to do the small antler. So let's do that. Again, magic ring. And see, the problem is with the magic ring, it makes you use so much yarn, you know? You get that extra tail at the end, which I think is a little excessive. This is the first time this year that I've ever done these magic rings. I've never done anything like this before. So I'm going to try to stretch this out and see how much I can get out of it. But for round 1, for the small antler, we're going to do the magic ring. Chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches and a slip stitch. So chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I might have to, okay, before I do the 6th one, because this is all I have, apologize you guys, but I've got to take my other color. So this is what I have. It's slightly different. It's different from the other one. I'm just gonna tie these two together, and like we did in I think either the part 1 video, that we had a manufacturer's knot to tie 2 strands together, and they had something like this. I'm just gonna have to make sure I try to keep this knot behind my project. So I gotta do one more single crochet stitch. Alright, so luckily the knot is gonna fall behind my project. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is close my magic ring. So I'm gonna pinch this down here, pull the yarn. This one's moving in first, so I'm going to draw that into the magic ring first. Okay, once that's disappeared, pull the excess yarn, make that loop disappear. Okay, and now I'm just going to go back to doing a slip stitch, count back 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put your hook into the 6th stitch, and we're going to do a slip stitch. maybe it won't be that noticeable. Okay, mark off our last stitch we made. Okay, and then for rounds 2 through 4, we're going to chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches and a slip stitch to end up with 6 stitches. So this is 2, 3, 4. Set this one aside. Then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. This yarn is thicker, so there might be a size change, but you know, it's how it is, so you got to work with it. And it's insane too, because I do comfortable loose stitching. A beginner tends to make tight stitches when they crochet, but you really should have relaxed hands making stitches, not too loose, but loose enough stitching. And unfortunately, I think they want you to make tight stitching because there's clearly not enough brown. Alright, slip stitch. Oops. And this one is acrylic yarn, so it definitely has a different texture to it. Okay, so now I'm going to flip this inside out. Tuck in all those excess pieces. Okay, and this is the last row that we have to do. Count pack 6 and do a slip stitch. Right, now that I have more yarn, not that I need it, I'm gonna give myself a nice tail. Then we're gonna fasten this off. Now we just have to sew this together, so I'm going to thread this up onto my tapestry needle. Oh, let's remove these guys. I don't need these anymore. Okay. Then by the looks of it, you sew it onto the 4th row. So I'm gonna be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're just going to sew this into a stitch here. Okay, and then we're going to sew this all the way around. Okay. Cut this up here. And then I'm gonna put my hook where the excess piece is, and we're gonna drag this into the antler. Alright, so it's kind of different. Oh dear. Alright. And then I'm going to sew this onto the hat. Okay. So, here we have our gnome. It looks like it's coming out of its nose in a V shape. So, I am going to have it do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it up in this crease here. So let's just say this is the middle. Maybe I should have it like this. So let's do that. And I just chose the middle. I don't know if that's exactly the middle. Again, if you have a better way of doing this, by all means, comment below. Okay, then I'm going to go into this hat here, come up right near the excess piece, and drag this into the project. Oops, I didn't get everything. Okay. So we've attached one antler. Here is the other one that I did. It definitely looks different because it has obviously a different little nubby. Let's sew this on since we're here. Okay. I'm just gonna poke this through. Okay. Actually, okay. All right. Well, with the overlooking this one here and the fact that this one is longer, oh, jeez, stretch. It's still looking okay. It's all right, right? Oh man, this might not be on center. Let's just do this, that way they can't tell. Okay, so let's move on to the ears. This is gonna be easy. I have enough white, so let's do our magic ring again. Home stretch, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in my videos. If you watch this all the way through, I really appreciate it. You don't know how much it means to me. Your support has helped me continue this channel, both the way the channel functions on YouTube and also just personally. This is probably the hardest time of the year. Not really, actually. At least for the past 2-3 years, yeah. I've been going through some stuff, so I really appreciate you showing up. Okay, so for round 1, magic ring, chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6. So we're going to chain 1. We're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. Oops, sorry. 1. All right, you gotta go. Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Pull. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So then for round 2, we're going to chain 1, 6 increasing stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 12 stitches. So chain 1, and then 6 increasing stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops, what the heck happened here? Let's see. 5, and last one, 6. Okay, so now we're gonna remove this marker. We're gonna count back 12, and we're gonna do a slip stitch. So 3, 6, 9, 12. Do a slip stitch. Okay, we're gonna fasten this off, so give yourself some tail. And we're going to fasten this off. Now, it says to sew the first 2 stitches from to form the ear shape, sew the ear to the hat. Okay, so thread this up. I've got to hide this guy, so I'm actually going to weave this in and out. And then I'm going to cut whatever's too much. So it's crazy how they don't really tell you how to clean things up, where to sew them. You know, it would be very helpful. And then please don't mind the noise. I'm running the dishwasher, so this is a simple production here. We're not some high-end studio. Multitasking. Okay. Then it says to sew the first 2 stitches together. So I'm going to go through this stitch on the right side of this excess piece, and then I'm going to go into the left side stitch, and I'm going to pull it together. So we get a pinch, and that's going to be the ear, and we have to sew it onto the hat. Now it doesn't say where, but I think I'm gonna just go 2 stitches from the antler, and we're just gonna have to figure it out that way. So if this is taken 1, 2, I'm just going to Right, 1, 2, go in here like this and see what happens. Right, so I'm just going to go through the back just to secure this ear. And then I'm going to sew it to the back of this. I have no idea what I'm doing, you guys, so. Go under the hat, just under the surface, come up where the excess piece is and drag it into the hat. And I pulled some of that stuffing out, so I gotta put that back. Okay, so we got our ear. Then I already have the second one made. So we're going to use that one. Okay, and then again, 2 stitches from the antlers. Okay, then I'm just going to go do the same thing I did, kind of go in the back here. And then I'm going to sew it to the back. Try to remember what I did here. Okay, I'm going to cut this and then hide it in the hat. Okay, so now let's put all of this. Alright, you guys, this is our this is our antler gnome. Oh my gosh, I mean, it's not terrible. Maybe it had a bad, you know, sometimes when they get injured, their little points get hurt and they just grow back. But anyway, that's the story I'm telling about my gnome. But here it is, you guys. Does it look like the picture? Comment below, let me know. At any rate, thank you so much, you guys, for watching during this. This was really cute to make, and the other 2 gnomes are really cute as well. So like I said, I have a lot coming this holiday season, and we're really only 2 weeks away, so I have no idea how I'm going to fit everything in. But we've got the Red Heart Advent Calendar, we have the Woobles Advent Calendar, and we have the Amazon kits. We'll see if I can punch those out. I'm not doing them all, but I'm going to do as much as I can. And then we of course have The Nightmare Before Christmas. That one I'm going to be doing till the close to the end of January, because my sister has a birthday coming up and I'm going to give her all the characters that I can make from that movie. So comment below your thoughts or anything, your requests, any help if you need it. And that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.